Honor. Would you please state your full name for the court reporter?
It's Christopher Lee Raymer.
And Detective Raymer, how are you employed, sir?
I'm a narcotics detective with the Orange County Sheriff Department.
And how long have you been with Orange County?
A little over a year.
And prior to that, were you with the Beaumont Police Department?
Yes, sir, I was.
And were you working, what capacity were you working with Beaumont PD back in August or on August the 15th of 2020?
I would have been in the narcotics unit.
And did you have an occasion on that day to visit a residence located at 5760 Road, Indian Trail in Beaumont, Texas?
Yes, sir, I did.
And that's located in Jefferson County, Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
Please explain to the judge the nature of who your contact or the nature of your visit to that residence that day.
That day we had gotten several complaints from neighbors and people living in the area of what they believe to be drug distribution coming from that residence. Me and some other narcotics detectives began the investigation that led us to that residence. And that day we were conducting a knock and talk operation.
And that background information that you received prior to the knock and talk, what, if anything, did it indicate or indicated was being distributed out of that residence?
Objection here, sir.
I will draw that question, Judge. What happened after the knock and talk was conducted?
Objection calls for a narrative response.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Once the knock and talk was initiated, the uniformed narcotics officers that made contact, they made contact with two individuals, at which point they notified us to move up. One of the individuals had made an admission that there was marijuana inside the residence.
Let's talk about those individuals. One of those individuals was a Heather Pena, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the other individual was Angel Martinez.
Yes, sir.
And based on your investigation and the facts from the scene that day, or your observations from the scene that day, how was Heather Pena connected to that residence?
Heather Pena was the daughter of Brenda Sanchez, who also lived at that residence.
So we've got knock and talk, contact with Heather Pena, contact with the Angel Martinez. What, if anything, did Angel Martinez admit to?
Again, Your Honor, it's hearsay.
I would draw that question, Judge.
I asked the state be instructed not to attempt to elicit hearsay. That's your
It's overruled. He's withdrawn the question. Go ahead.
Martinez, he was arrested, correct?
Yes, sir.
For an MTRP warrant, correct?
Yes, sir.
And pursuant to being arrested, and Judge, this will elicit hearsay, however, it's an exception, as that it does not go to the truth of the matter. In other words, the ultimate issue in this case being whether or not this defendant possessed the peoples.
I'll let the state ask the question before I object, Your Honor.
What after Mr. Martinez did he ask? What after he was arrested did he ask be done?
Objection, hearsay also allowed to confront cross-examine under Crawford.
Doesn't go to the ultimate issue as to whether or not this defendant possessed the peoples, Judge.
It's testimonial. If it doesn't, then it's irrelevant.
Overruled. Go ahead.
What did he ask?
He had asked for his cell phone and his wallet.
And then for officers, who did he ask to retrieve that?
He asked Heather Pena to retrieve it.
For officer safety, did you accompany Pena into that residence?
I did.
And for the reason of?
Yeah, for officer safety reasons, when someone enters their residence after the mission that we heard, we want to ensure that they're not retrieving some type of weapon or destroying evidence or something of that nature. So we follow in as protection for ourselves.
And nevertheless, in this process of you accompanying Pena into the residence to obtain or retrieve Martinez's cell phone, did you observe marijuana?
I did. In the closet area on a tray, it looked like marijuana.
Okay. Eventually, you backed out of there. At some point, was the defendant, Brenda Sanchez, contacted by cell phone?
She was.
And after she was contacted by cell phone, did she arrive on scene?
Yes, sir.
Once Brenda Sanchez arrived on scene, what, if anything, happened next?
Again, it calls for a narrative. What happened then? After she arrived on scene, what happened?
Would you rather him lead him?
Yes, Your Honor, I would. So I would have an opportunity to object to each individual question.
Overruled. Ask your question.
What happened when Brandy Sanchez arrived on the scene?
She had requested the use of the restroom, of which we followed her in, so she used the restroom.
Yeah, and let's clear it up for the judge. I mean, everybody's outside at this point.
Yes, sir.
And, we've got Martinez, we've got Pena, and then now Sanchez has arrived on scene. Everybody's outside the residence.
Yes, sir.
And for officer safety reasons, you're not gonna just let anybody walk in and then walk out of that break.
Correct.
So what did you do once she indicated that she needed to use the restroom?
I followed her into the restroom, and
Oh, you didn't follow into the restroom.
not into the restroom, into her bedroom, which that primary bedroom had an ensuite bathroom. She went into the restroom, and then I stayed outside near the entry door to the bedroom.
Now, what if anything happened when she exited the restroom?
When she exited the restroom, she went to a bedside nightstand, opened the top drawer, and then retrieved a bottle of pills and handed them to me. If memory serves, she said, "This is what you're looking for," and handed it to me.
Now, this pill bottle, did it have her name on it?
No, sir.
Is it fair to say it had someone else's name on it?
Yes, sir.
If you recall.
I can't recall the name, but it was not Brenda Sanchez.
And inside this pill bottle, what did, in your training experience, what did it appear to be?
The violence.
A number of pills?
Yes, sir.
If you remember the number or the amount or the weight?
I believe the
It's
weight.
only if you remember.
Yeah, it was 11 grams.
And this 11 grams of what you believe to be dilaudid, was it ultimately sent to the lab?
Yes, sir.
Was it analyzed?
Yes, sir.
And was there a result after it was analyzed?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would offer state's exhibit number 1, a lab report pursuant to a certificate of analysis that's been on file for the requisite time.
Yeah.
And has not been objected to.
Objection. Hearsay, Your Honor, also chain of custody has been established between the substance that was seized and the substance that was tested.
Did you file an objection within the time frame for the certificate of analysis that was filed?
I'm objecting that the chain of custody hasn't been established. I believe the certificate of analysis is accurate, but he hasn't laid the predicate for the chain of custody. That was what was actually tested, was what was seized and submitted to the lab.
I'm happy to do that, Judge. I will draw my offer, state's one at this time, pending calling a conditional witness
Okay.
to establish the chain of custody, Judge. Once you received that pill bottle that was given to you by the defendant, what did you do with it?
I provided that to the lead case agent, which was Detective Matt Neal.
Detective Matthew Neal, is Detective Matthew Neal here too?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I think that's all. Let me ask you this, couple of housekeeping questions. Hydromorphone, or was commonly referred to as dilaudid. I don't know why I have some trouble stumbling over that word. Is that a controlled substance in
Yes.
the state of Texas?
Yes, sir.
Is that possession of that, would that be a violation of, would it be a penalty group 1 substance in violation of section 481.115 of the Texas Health and Safety Code?
Yes, sir.
And as far as you know, with possession of 4 grams or more, but less than 200 grams, be a second-degree felony.
Yes, sir.
Now, these individuals who occupied this residence, well, what, if any, information did you develop in your investigation that would link this defendant to that residence?
Yeah, I object to the global nature of the question, Your Honor.
Overruled.
And to the extent that it involves hearsay.
Let me rephrase. During the course of your investigation, did you develop information that allegedly this was her residence, that she resided there?
Yes.
During the course of your investigation, did you develop information that indicated that she resided there with Heather Pena and Ricky Woods, albeit on another part of that property, but he was there on that property?
Yes.
Now, this Ricky Woods, this Heather Pena, you understand that part of our conditions of probation is not to associate with people of disreputable character.
Yes, sir.
In your understanding or your common understanding of a person with disreputable character, how would you characterize Ricky Woods and Heather Pena?
Both subjects have had lengthy criminal histories. I know Heather was very well known as a drug dealer.
And again, I don't know if we covered this, maybe I'm thinking back to our hearing prep or trial prep, but you received, there have been complaints, is it fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Neighborhood or neighbor complaints
Citizen complaints, yes, sir.
about the comings and goings there at that residence?
Yes, sir. A lot of vehicle traffic, bicycle traffic, and people walking to and from that residence.
And based on your training experience, what, if anything, is that, or could that be indicative of?
Drug distribution.
I'll pass it over, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Kimler?
Warren,
Morning, sir.
I'm not going to ask you details if there is a confidential informant. Was a confidential informant used in this particular case, or was it just citizen complaints?
There was a CI was used, not by me, by the lead detective, Matthew Nick.
And so the evidence that the CI was able to provide to you wasn't sufficient to obtain a warrant. You just relied on a knock and talk.
Knock and talk was, at the time, the citizens were very upset, and that was a way that we could handle an issue or at least show attention to the issue rather quickly.
So am I correct in understanding your answer is that it was based on an expedited, a desire to expedite the interaction where it would preclude using the CI's information to obtain a warrant?
Well, the reason for expedition on something of this nature, Judge, is that the audits are oftentimes fake pills and things of that nature. Beaumont at that time, I can speak to, was seeing a large number of overdoses, and the fact that the audits associated with overdoses, we wanted to show attention to the fact that possible pills being sold from there.
Exigent circumstances, correct?
So,
So am I correct in understanding that the CI possibly provided information that dilaudid were being distributed?
I didn't understand that. I couldn't tell you.
Well, it seems to be what you're saying, though, that was the reason to expedite and go to a knock and talk versus using information from the CI to obtain a warrant. Is that
If we could do something to possibly stop overdoses, we were going to do it.
What I'm saying is that's predicated on knowledge that dilaudid was being distributed, and that goes beyond the citizen complaints. Is that correct?
Can you repeat that for me?
The desire to take dilaudid or remove dilaudid from the streets, the knowledge of that possibly being the source, that residence being the source of that distribution, that was the reason to expedite to a knock and talk versus using the information to obtain a search.
You would have to ask Matt Newt that. He was the lead case agent.
Who initiated the knock and talk?
It was Officer Visser and Officer Brown.
And uniformed officers, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And to be correct and just accurate, Ms. Sanchez was not present at that time, is that correct?
Not when they made their initial contact.
The initial contact was made, and was entry made at that point or not?
No, sir.
When was entry made after the initial contact, and what was the reason for entry being made?
The entry was made when Mr. Martinez requested his cell phone and wallet, and then I accompanied Ms. Pena to retrieve that.
And Martinez was in custody at that point?
Yes, sir.
For what warrants, or what was the reason?
I believe an MTRP warrant.
Active warrant.
Yes, sir.
And he answered the door, or was
I
retrieved?
believe Ms. Pena answered it.
And how was Mr. Martinez retrieved with the active warrant?
He exited the residence while they were speaking with Ms. Pena.
And then a warrant check was run, or did he volunteer that he had a warrant?
I believe a check was written in his name.
And so an officer accompanied Ms. Pena into the residence, is that right?
Yes, sir, I did.
You did.
Yes, sir.
And you said you observed marijuana, what you believe is marijuana?
Yes, sir, in the closet area.
Is there any way to distinguish illegal marijuana from legal hemp at this stage?
Outside the smell of it, which I could smell it, and the look, I've had many cases with marijuana. It appeared to be marijuana to me.
And based upon that, you didn't have probable cause to search the residence?
We had probable cause, but we would, at this point, we were still talking to Mr. Martinez outside. Heather Pena was in the room, so we wanted to retrieve that out. I believe one of the other detectives was speaking with Ms. Sanchez on the cell phone at that time.
Was the substance retrieved or not?
The marijuana?
Yes,
Yes.
it was retrieved.
It was taken into my custody and given to Detective Neal at that time.
Do you know if that was ever tested or not?
I don't know.
What was the approximate
Yeah,
quantity?
Sir,
What was the approximate quantity?
I don't remember.
What, more than a felony amount or a misdemeanor? 4 ounces above or less than 4
I don't
ounces?
remember.
At that point, was your entry in the residence predicated on extra circumstances and probable cause or not?
At that point, I was strictly for officer safety reasons. Once that was done, we exited the residence.
So it still wasn't It wasn't a situation where you're conducting a full search based upon exigent circumstances and probable cause. Is
No,
that
sir.
right? So you exited the residence, correct?
Yes, sir.
With Miss Pena and the cell phone?
The cell phone wallet and the box that she retrieved that had additional narcotics in it, what I believe to be narcotics.
And what was in the box?
It was additional marijuana and some pills, I believe.
Did you direct her to do that, or she did
No,
that?
she did it. I asked her, she picked up a box, not knowing what's in that box, whether it's a weapon or something like that. I asked her if she would open it. She willingly opened it for me, and that's where the narcotics was.
Okay, so was she placed under arrest or not?
No, sir.
So you're outside of the residence now, right? Everyone's outside of the residence?
Yes, sir.
Did you conduct a protective sweep while you were inside the residence?
So I don't believe I did. It may be another officer. I didn't.
So who else entered the residence besides you with Miss Pena?
Officer Visser.
So both you, Visser, and Pena exited the residence?
Yes, sir.
And to your knowledge, no one was in the residence at that time?
To my knowledge.
And then someone called Miss Sanchez, or what's your understanding what occurred?
That was my understanding that Detective Neal was speaking with Miss Sanchez via cell phone.
So Detective Neal initiated contact with Miss Sanchez?
That would be something he would have to answer. I don't know how he got in contact. I just know he was speaking to her on the cell phone.
You don't know whether he called her or how the contact was
Right.
initiated. In any event, you observed Miss Sanchez to return or to come to the residence?
Yes, sir.
And then when she came to the residence, obviously she's outside of the residence when she arrives. In the context of her entering the residence was what?
That she needed to use her restroom.
So she advised you or someone that she needed to enter the residence?
She advised everybody that she needed to use her restroom.
So based upon that, you accompanied her into the house
Yes, sir.
and observed her to enter the restroom and the master suite?
Yes, sir.
And then when she exited the restroom, did you provide her any directions as far as, hey, you need to provide us with whatever illegal narcotics are in here, any kind
No,
of
sir.
direction or
No, sir.
commands, anything like that?
No, sir. I don't know what her and Detective Neal spoke about, but I didn't give her any direction.
Well, did you give her any directions like, I want to see your hands, don't grab anything, don't make any sudden move, any kind of those type of directions?
No, I just made sure that she wasn't I didn't see her with anything in her hands coming out of the bathroom or anything of that nature for my safety.
Obviously, anybody can be a threat, but was there anything particular about her conduct that would initiate any type of additional vigilance on your part that she was a potential threat? Anything she did to cause you to have that extra concern with her?
It's not extra concern. We would treat every situation in that nature of anyone re-entering or entering a residence when law enforcement's on scene.
But she didn't do anything in particular that would cause you.
She didn't make any threats, if that's what you're.
Furtive movements, those types of things, nothing like that?
No, sir. Not that I remember.
So when she approached the nightstand and attempted to open the nightstand drawer, did that cause you concern?
It did,
And for what reason?
because I don't know what's in that nightstand.
Could be a weapon. is that
Could be a
right?
weapon, could be she's trying to get narcotics to destroy them.
Well, what's your first concern? It has to be a weapon, right? You're talking officer safety.
Absolutely.
Did you direct her not to open the drawer?
I walked closer to her and she reached in.
Well, did you direct her, don't open that drawer? Don't open the drawer there. I don't want you to do that.
I don't recall.
Well, do you think that would be consistent with officer safety to direct her not to open the drawer?
I would figure so, but I don't recall if I did or not.
Well, would it be customary or regular on your part to perhaps an unknown object in the drawer with a suspect in a narcotics investigation to direct them not to open a drawer with unknown things in the drawer?
It would.
Yeah. So you don't know if you direct her or not to
I
open
don't
the drawer?
recall, no, sir.
In any case, she opened the drawer
Yes, sir.
and that was without your direction. Is that right? She did
Yes,
it of her own volition
Right.
and reached in and handed you a bottle of pills.
Yes, sir.
So you let her reach into the drawer, not knowing what's in the drawer?
Yes, sir.
Even though you're concerned with your safety?
Right.
Does that make sense, or is that a good idea?
Objection, this has become kind of argumentative at this point, Judge.
It's not, it's cross-examination, Your Honor.
Well, I think it's kind of been asked and answered about the safety and, go ahead.
So,
Ask the question.
did you perceive it to be a threat when she put her hand into the drawer?
Her actions, she wasn't making assertive movements and in that nature. Again, I wasn't, when she exited, I wanted to ensure that for her privacy, I wasn't looking so closely at her. She made her way to the nightstand, and at which time she opened it and handed me the pills.
My question was, did you perceive it to be a threat when she put her hand into the nightstand?
No.
Yes or no? No?
No, sir.
And she retrieved a bottle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And she handed it to you,
Yes, sir.
and you opened it?
I opened it after we walked out of the residence.
And describe what you saw in the bottom.
It was pills that I commonly see to be Dilaudid.
Describe the pills.
I can't recall the pill.
You don't know the-
According to my report, I believe them to be Dilaudid.
What did Dilaudid usually look like in that milligram capacity? Do you know?
I didn't hear.
What did Dilaudid usually look like when they're in that milligram capacity?
I can't recall.
And was there a person's name on the prescription bottle?
There was, I don't recall the name, but I know it wasn't Brenda Sanchez.
Right. Do you have your report with you?
I do.
Would that refresh your recollection as whose name?
It's not MR.
That's not an important fact, you don't think?
Oh, it is, but that bottle was given to the lead case agent. I'm sure he can attest to what was on the bottle as he
Okay.
was the one doing the process.
If I represent to you, again, I don't know, I wasn't there, look at the bottle, potentially the name was, Mark Bridges. Would that be inconsistent with your recollection? You just don't know.
I wouldn't recall that, sir.
Did she appear to be under the influence of hydromorphone? Dilaudid?
No, sir.
What are the characteristics of somebody that's under the influence of hydromorphone?
It's considered a downer, so she would be lethargic, something in that nature.
Slurred speech, the normal customary
Yes, sir.
indications of narcotic intoxication with the depressant, right?
Yes, sir. She didn't appear to be intoxicated to me.
Wasn't slurred her words, didn't have blown out pupils, anything of that nature?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you observe any, well, how is Dilaudid commonly ingested by
Uh,
street users?
Pill form.
How do they
Chicken.
ingest it?
They swallow it.
How else do they ingest
They
it?
can smoke it.
How else?
That's some. I mean, you could liquefy it and shoot it. I
Intravenously.
mean, any way an addict wants to use drugs, they'll figure a way
Is
to.
it usual and customary to be used intravenously, or do you know?
Most of the time, as far as my knowledge, a lot of times it's mostly taken by pill form or smoked.
Not injected?
Can.
Did you observe any signs on Miss Sanchez of recent use of
I didn't.
various drug use?
I didn't look for that.
Was she cooperative, reasonable,
Yes,
respectful?
to a point.
What do you need to a point? Did she do anything?
Well, I mean, anytime you show back up to your house knowing that there's possible narcotics, you're not gonna be too happy that you see law enforcement at your house, but
What did she
she
do?
wasn't rude.
She wasn't rude.
Yes, not. She was cooperative.
Was she placed in handcuffs and taken into custody?
I don't recall. I don't believe so. I know she wasn't taken into custody.
Did you ever run a search on that residence or not?
I did not know, sir.
Or do you know if one was ever run?
I don't believe so.
I'll pass with.
I have no further questions for Detective Rand. Go ahead.
Thank you, Detective.
Yes,
Go
ma'am.
again.
State called Detective Matthew Neal.
All right, Detective.
Nobody in the courtroom expected what happened next. A grieving sister stood before the jury and revealed the heartbreaking pain her family has carried since Charlie's murder. She described him as the dependable cowboy who would drop everything to help anyone, a son who brought pride to his parents, and an uncle loved by dozens of nieces and nephews. Fighting back tears, she recalled spending days and nights beside his hospital bed, hoping for a miracle that never came. She told the jury how her elderly parents, both in their 90s, were devastated and barely got the chance to say goodbye. As emotions reached their peak, she looked directly at the courtroom and declared that the defendant had stolen her family's happiness forever. Then came the question that left everyone silent. What do you want to see happen? Without hesitation, she answered, she needs to get the maximum. In that unforgettable moment, the courtroom fell completely still as the jury prepared to decide a sentence that could change everything.